I think it's a great way to get to know more people in your church on a personal level, as well as growing your journey in faith. There's loads of different hangouts to join, so I'm sure we'll find one that will suit you.
Come to Youth Hangout. It's on Thursday, 6 till half 7.
Good evening. Show of hands if you went to Casper's this evening, this afternoon. What did you bring me? Oh, okay. Well, we're going to start with some music. We're going to stand, we're going to sing. And this might be a new one for you, but I just encourage you to try and sing along. So this is called All Hail. There was a moment when the lights went out, when death proclaimed its victory. The King of love had given up his life, the greatest day in history. There on the cross they made the sin. Every curse his blood atone. One final breath and it was finished. Not the end we could have known, for the earth began to shake and the veil was torn. But sacrifice was made as the heavens roll. All hail King Jesus. All hail Lord of heaven and earth. All hail King Jesus. All hail the Savior of the world. There was a moment when the sky lit up, a flash of light was breaking through. When all was lost, he crossed eternity. King of life was on the move. We're in a dark, cold tomb where our Lord was. One miraculous breath will forever change. All hail King Jesus. All hail Lord of heaven and earth. All hail King Jesus. All hail the Savior of the world. So let every knee come bow before the King of Kings. Let every tongue confess that He is Lord. And lift up your shout. Let us join with all of heaven, singing holy, sing home, singing home. We sing home. Oh, help me, Jesus. Oh, hail the Lord of heaven and earth. Oh, hail King Jesus. Oh, hail the Savior of the world. Oh, hail King Jesus. Oh, hail the Lord of heaven and earth. Oh, hail King Jesus. Oh, hail the Savior of the world.
Yo, yo, yo. Amazing. So good to be with you all. Some of you I've spent about 2 hours with already, and you've got a lot of sugar in you, which is quite exciting. But just quickly while we begin, Tim, I've got a question for you. While Tim gets ready. I've got a question for you. Tim, what's your favourite ice cream? And what's your favourite pancake topping?
It's a good question. I once had Ferrero Rocher ice cream, and it was pretty amazing. Has anybody ever had that? No.
No.
Oh, yes. Come on, guys. And would you agree that it was as amazing as I said? Yeah, okay.
Ferrero Rocher? No, Ferrero Rocher. It's quite hard to say. Ferrero Rocher.
Ferrero Rocher, yes.
Very
indeed.
fancy.
Indeed.
Very
What about you?
Mint chocolate chip, hands down. Every day. It's like green with chocolate in it, and that's really great.
Nah.
It's really great.
Nah, it's a waste of ice cream,
It's
that,
really great.
to be honest.
No, you're wrong.
What?
You're wrong. But anyway, what else? What's happening? What have we got on?
Good question. So we are coming up to a time where we're going to be running Alpha. Alpha is going to be happening from the 19th on a Tuesday night here, 6:30.
Yes.
And we're going to do a full meal, okay? So if you want to
Free
come
food.
and have tea with us, free food, free full meal. And then we're going to watch a video,
Tuesday
we're
nights.
going to do a discussion, we're going to talk about some of the big questions that we all have about life and about what it's like. 6:30. 6:30. From Tuesday the 19th of April, not just this Tuesday. We will tell you again. You will get a flyer and you can take it home. Don't worry, we'll pass on all the
We will
information.
tell
What
you
is
the
Alpha,
information.
Arthur?
So Alpha is a great place for you to ask big questions. Like, what is the meaning of life? Why are we here? What is this all about?
Do you know
What's
really
your
hard
favourite
to say?
ice cream?
It's really hard to say Alpha Arthur.
Alpha Arthur.
Yeah.
My name's not Arthur, so it shouldn't be hard at all.
Oh, sorry.
Arthur.
I think there should be a video. Is there a video?
For Alpha, yes, there should be a video.
should be a
Hopefully there'll
video.
be a video that comes on.
Let's watch the video.
No.
This old friend of mine, Helen,
My best friend.
My friend Colin invited me to try Alpha.
Y recuerdo que mi papá me dijo, mira, hay comida gratis, ve.
They handed me a invitation.
it was just a random invitation.
And I said, like, why not? Let's try it.
Why not? Let's go.
And I found like a really awesome community of people.
They helped me find who I was just by listening.
Alpha helped me in the knowing of God.
Empecé a entender que el amor es de muchas maneras.
I just knew.
I was a different person from that moment on. I knew I had purpose.
I felt really comfortable and like starting to invite my friends.
I've seen Alpha really impact people that I work with.
I would definitely encourage people to get involved. It's one of the coolest things I've ever experienced.
It all turned out to be life-changing.
So that is an encouragement to invite somebody.
Yes.
So if you know somebody you want to bring along, you can. Like I say, free food, great conversation, good chat. and like a video just to kind of help us reflect.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really good. And it would be great to see you guys there and bring, as you said, bring your friends. Yeah, it'll be good.
Definitely.
It will be good.
What else is going on at the moment? Anything that we need to report?
I don't think so. I think it's been, the notice today was Casper's.
It's Casper's.
And I think these guys know. Where did we go for pudding? Casper's.
Did you like it? What did you have?
I had a Bueno dough, which is Bueno cookie dough.
Brendo.
Brendo. It's like Brendo.
Brendo.
It's like Brendo.
We don't talk about Buendo.
We don't talk about Brendo.
You're welcome, guys. Anyway, we are going to play a game.
We're going to play a game.
And we need at least 2 volunteers that we're going to blindfold at the front.
No, okay. Mackenzie's one.
Indeed he is. Put the blindfold on. I'll be your best friend, though, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, you nearly got a best friend. That
I know, yeah, I know.
You let yourself down.
Micaiah.
Now, you put
Mate,
the masks on.
It looks good on you.
Put the mask on. Arthur's gonna go and get the cream pie that we're gonna just smash it. I'm joking. I am joking. Don't worry. You don't actually, to be honest with you, you don't really need the mask on, but it's just added extra, isn't it? It looks good. So pop the mask on properly. That's it.
You've got it upside down. You've got it the wrong way round.
Try not to fall asleep.
Put it down.
Put it down. Okay, what's going to happen is...
Come on, put it on quickly.
Oh, an animal is going to come on the screen. A name of an animal is going to come on the screen. If we're not listening, we're never going to know what we're doing here.
Warren.
Right, okay. So an animal is going to come on the screen, okay? And when the animal comes on the screen, you can make as much noise as you want to tell these guys what the animal is without saying the actual word. So if, for example, a leopard came on, please do not go, "It's a leopard." Okay, because that actually isn't that funny, is it?
And don't even go, "It's a leopard."
But Arthur, if you wanted to do an impression of a leopard, what would that look like? It's decent. It was decent.
That was good, to be fair.
It was decent. Okay,
We'll save that and we'll use it at random moments.
Okay.
Do you want to come forward a bit?
You can step forward a little bit if you want.
Come forward a bit.
They don't know where forward
As
is.
in, yeah.
I would stop there.
Stop there. Okay. Have we got the first animal ready?
Okay. When it comes on, the first person to get it wins. Okay. I'm going to be listening out.
Is it ready?
We're just hanging on at once.
Hold on a second. Come on.
There's a lot of tension here.
Here we go.
Here we go.
A lion.
No, keep guessing.
No.
Leopard. Dog. Dog. A tiger.
Not a turkey.
I said a dog.
Oh, well, it's not a dog. Is it bigger than a dog?
No. Bigger. It's bigger.
A lion.
You've already said...
A bear.
Oh.
It is
Warren.
a bear. Well done.
Go and sit down. Well, good work, guys. That was a warm-up. Oh, we got the next one. Oh, time.
Okay. Next one. Here we go.
Next one.
A lot of tension here.
This is pressure.
Grinning, bear it.
If you press the little arrow, hopefully it'll come up.
No one under the radar.
There we go.
Okay, here we go.
A goat.
What? A goat? A goat? A goat?
It was a sheep. Yeah, Mackenzie's got 2 points. Micaiah's got none.
Back you go. Hit us with the next one.
Because
Here
you
we
went
go.
for sheep.
Let's go. Let's go. It's my dad.
A skeleton.
Is it a flamingo? He got it. He got it. So good. He can't. He actually can't see.
That's definitely cheating. But are we allowed to do that?
What would you have done for a noise for a flamingo?
That's not an answer. Right.
Yeah, just.
Should we do the next one? Blindfolds.
Okay,
Blindfolds.
Okay, here we go. Let's go.
Parrot.
Guys.
Right.
Okay. Go on.
You're missing the point here. You're missing the point. We want impressions. We don't want you to go, it's red and blue and it flies. We want you to go, caca, 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 caca.
Pretty Polly. Pretty Polly. Pretty Polly.
Polly want a cracker.
Polly want a cracker. Hello.
And so on.
Hello.
Obviously. Okay.
Are you ready?
So we'll do one more with these two. I don't know how many more animals there
I've got
are,
no
to be
idea.
honest.
This is nuts.
Okay, here we go.
Good
Next
fun.
one.
Ready?
Dog.
Oh, this one. This one first. This one first.
Yes. Did you
Micaiah.
say- most people said woof woof, right? But somebody just went ruff ruff.
Rough. Rough. And Bella decided to do an impression of a dog on the floor, which these guys can't see.
Bella is still a dog. Okay.
Amazing. Do you want to sit down?
Yeah, go and
Great
sit
work.
down.
Do you
Go
want
and
to pass
sit
me the
down.
blindfold?
Let's see if we can get one or two. Well, I think two more people. Go on, come on, you can go up. Go and sit down.
Go on, Warren, sit down.
You get a best friend out of it over here.
I'm going to go for you because you want to be
Forest,
best
please.
friends.
What have you just got rid of?
Sit down.
Ah, okay. Fair. Well, I think we're gonna. This is the last go. They need you. There are 3 more. Okay, here we go.
There are 3.
So listen.
Are you ready?
Impressions. Okay.
No
here
descriptions, impressions. We haven't started yet.
Frog!
Oh, it did come on this side first, didn't
He
it?
didn't even say anything.
Your best friend didn't even say
Me,
anything, did he?
I thought we were best friends.
Okay. Next one.
You ready?
Wolf.
What is going on?
A lion.
No descriptions. No descriptions.
Shark.
You got it?
No. Let me tell you why he got it. Because someone walked up in his face and went,
No. They
It's a
whispered.
shark.
They whispered to Lexi actually.
It's a
And
shark.
he got it. It's a shark.
do you know what? I'll give you the point. Okay.
Best
Last
friends.
one.
High five.
Last one.
Come on.
Don't
No,
spoil
high five.
it
Come on,
this
try and
time.
give me a high five. Go on, try and give me a high five.
Just for future reference. Damn it. Yeah.
Shark,
right, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You ready?
Next one. Here we go.
Donkey.
It is a bit donkey-like, but it isn't a donkey.
A bird.
A what?
A bird or a chicken.
It is a type of bird, but we want the type of bird. Think of a type of bird.
Seagull. No. Crow.
Big.
Eagle.
Got it here. Well done.
Amazing.
Well done. Big round of applause for these
Pass
two
me
particularly. I think you
the
did well.
blindfold.
Take it with you if you want.
Great work. No, do on then.
Oh yeah, that's for tonight, innit? Okay, brilliant. Now, we also have played a game this week, haven't we, Arthur?
We have.
And is it just these guys that have had a lot of sugar and don't know what to do with all that? Rest of the
That Brendo was really nice.
We've also played a game this week, haven't we, Arthur? What have we played? What have we
We
done?
played a game called Sit Down, Stand Up. Sit down, stand up. Sit down, stand up. Are you sitting or standing?
Are you sitting or standing? Okay, and basically for this game, we had to ring people and find out if they were sitting or standing, okay? You did see it this morning, but don't give away the answers. If you want to guess as it's going whether the person is going to be sitting down or standing up, then we'll watch the video and see how many you can get right. Let's have a watch.
Let's go.
Hello, so our challenge, which we've kind of set for ourselves this week, you found on a radio show, did you not?
Yeah, I did. It's called Sit Down, Stand Up. There's a little song that goes, sit down, stand up. Sit down, stand up. Sit down, stand up. Are you sitting or standing?
That was excellent.
That was actually really good, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
really good. Yeah.
Basically, it's a simple game. We're going to ring some people, but before we do that, we're going to guess whether they're going to be sitting down or standing up.
Who's your first one?
I'm going to pick Bren.
You're going to pick Bren. Okay, I am going to guess that Bren, it's Bren. I don't think I've ever seen Bren sit down. So I'm going to go with standing up.
You're going to go standing? Okay, I'm going to go sitting down,
Okay.
just to make it exciting.
That's definitely what you came to do.
Hey, hello, Arthur.
Hi, are you sitting down or standing up?
I'm sitting down.
We're doing a challenge for Sunday where we ask people whether they're standing up or sitting down.
Right, so 1-0 to you.
1-0.
Well, I need to try and pull it back. I think Dave is going to be a good one.
Is it Dave or Bren?
It was definitely Dave.
Definitely.
And I'm going for standing up. I
Ooh.
think Dave is standing up.
I think he's maxing relaxing. I think he's sitting down.
Hi Dave, how you doing?
Hi, mate, okay.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. We're just playing a game for a challenge, and we need to know whether you're standing up or sitting down.
Standing up.
Yes! Yes! Okay, great. Nice one.
Thanks, Dave.
That's literally it.
I lost. Well, thanks, mate.
I was sitting down when I stood up front of the boat.
Oh, yes!
You're one of them. So it is 1-1. My turn. I'm going to ring someone that you don't know. but it's going to be my dad. Now, he normally is at home on Thursdays, and he works from home on Thursdays, so I think he's going to be sitting down.
Okay. I'm going to go with standing up because, you know, it keeps the game interesting. So hopefully.
Hello? Hi, Dad. Are you sitting down or standing up?
Sit down.
Yes! Yes!
Why did you sit down there?
Oh. It's always the best, that.
That is dead.
I guess sitting down, so it's good. But yeah.
If I just leave those in the corner, I could have started up again.
Ah.
If you could stand up and I'll just call you back in about 2 minutes so I can get a point, that would be great.
Well, I'll put you on hold and stand up.
Don't do that, Dad. Come on, that's cheating.
Next up, I'm going to call a friend of mine.
Yeah.
His name is Mikey. I'm going to say he's going to be sitting down. He's sitting down, he's working, he's doing some office things.
I know Mikey because I've played football with him a couple of times. So I imagine he just plays football all the time. So I think he's standing up.
Right.
You're sitting down. You're going to sit down.
Flawed logic, but...
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. Mikey, it's Tim. We're playing a game. We're doing like a challenge for church, and we need to know if you're standing up or you're sitting down.
Mate, I'm standing up.
Oh, yes! Come on!
You just told I was sat down.
Tim.
Was it you, Tim?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Mate, you look like one of your best mates who's got like the most chronic ADHD ever, and you think he's sat down? Disappointed.
I need to pull this back, and I think the person to call is Kirsty.
Okay.
And now, Kirsty obviously has just recently had a baby, which keeps you on your toes. So I'm going to say Kirsty is going to be standing up.
That's a bold call.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to go sitting down because I think it's right. More so than
Obviously,
it being a different one to what you're doing.
Hi, Kirsty.
Hey,
Yeah, well, basically, we're playing a game for a challenge where we have to find out whether you're standing up or you're sitting down.
I'm currently standing up.
Yes! Oh, no! Get in there. So, 3-2, this is the one that all rests on. We're going to ring Jenna. And you're saying standing up.
Standing up.
I'm saying sitting down.
Yeah.
Let's go. I think this is 3-3.
Hey, Jenna.
You alright?
Are you standing up or sitting down?
Sitting down.
Yes! Yes!
Oh, sorry, we're doing the challenge for Sunday.
Right, so draw, fair result.
A game called Sit Down, Stand Up. Sit down, stand up. Sit down, stand up. Are you sitting or standing? Amazing. So I'm going to guess that everyone's going to be standing up now, Tim. So everyone, would you like to just stand up? I win. No, I'm joking. We're gonna worship again. We're gonna sing a song. But while we do that, before we do that, I'm gonna pray. So maybe put your hands together like this, like you might do at school or somewhere else. And we're gonna pray. So Heavenly Father, thank you that we get to have loads of fun. Thank you that you're in the fun and that we get to enjoy ourselves. And God, we just give this time to you. Come and speak to us, we pray. Amen.
You brought me from darkness and clothed me in garments of praise. And Jesus, forever my song will be. I'm living in freedom. You've taken my burdens away. And Jesus, forever my song will be. For the cross that you bore and the debt that you paid, for the victory you won over death and the grave. And this is the reason I sing, for the hope that you give and the joy that you bring, for the promise that heaven is waiting for me. And this is the reason I sing. And I will not be silent. I'll testify of your grace. Jesus forever, my song will be. For the cross that you bore and the debt that you paid, for the victory you won over death and the grave. And this is the reason I sing, for the hope that you give and the joy that you bring, for the promise of heaven is waiting for me. And this is the reason I sing, for the cross that you bore and the debt that you paid, for the victory you won over death and the grave. And this is the reason I sing, for the hope that you give and the joy that you bring, and the promise that heaven is waiting for me. And this is the reason I sing. So good, so good, so good to me. Forever I'll sing. You're so good to me. So good, so good, so good to me. Forever I'll sing. You're so good to me. For the cross that you bore and the debt that you paid, for the victory you won over death and the grave. And this is the reason I sing, the hope that you give and the joy that you bring, for the promise that heaven is waiting for me. And this is the reason I sing. And Jesus, the reason I sing. Oh, Jesus, the reason I sing. Oh, Jesus, the reason I sing.
Amazing. Amazing. Do you want to grab a seat? If you haven't already. Amazing. So, do you want to grab a seat? And do you want to, if you haven't got a seat, go and find one. And we are going to talk today, again, like we did last week, about something called footsteps. Do you remember Tim's funny walk? Yeah? The one that he did last week, which was a bit like, that went on Instagram. Did you see it? It was on Instagram, yeah, on Tuesday, maybe? Was it Tuesday? It went on Instagram on Tuesday, and it was a good funny walk. I've been practicing my funny walk this week, right? My funny walk is something that looks a bit like this. Are you ready? You ready? I mean, that's a funny walk. But one thing that I found funny was this week, right? There was lots of funny walks when we walked from Casper's to church, wasn't there? Lots of people were walking in a funny way. You guys took ages. I'm joking. But today, we are going to be talking more about following in people's footsteps, copying the example of someone else. And so yesterday, I got a message from my mum. Who gets a message from their mum? Who gets texts from their mum? Yeah? Every now and then. Text from your mum. Sometimes my mum sends me weird texts that are about random things. Sometimes they're quite cool. So to yesterday, I got a text from my mum, and it said, it was a picture of our house, right, but 20 years ago. So the house that I grew up in, I moved there when I was 3. 20 years ago, they moved in. I am 23, good maths. And we moved into that house 20 years ago yesterday. Bit nuts, really. And basically, my mum sent me this picture and was like, oh, look how amazing this is. We've been living in the same house for 20 years. But when they moved in, or a bit before they moved in, the house was a bit of a mad space. It was a bit nuts, right? So there was the kitchen, was upstairs. So whose kitchen's upstairs? No? There was a toilet where my bed is now, which is a bit strange. There were lots of things around the house that didn't make any sense at all. Well, no, we moved it. The kitchen got moved downstairs. But when they first moved in, they did some building work. Bob the builder was in and came and did some stuff. But when we moved in, it was all a bit nuts. Everything was a bit higgledy-piggledy and a bit all over the place. Even all the windows were smashed. The staircase was ruined. Things were broken. It wasn't in a very good, I don't know, wasn't me. Definitely wasn't me, promise. But the point I'm making is that over the last 20 years, my parents and my family have spent a lot of time trying to make it a nice place to live. So, the kitchen was moved downstairs. The toilet was taken out and put where the toilet should be. There was a nice shower put in one of the rooms, which was nice. The shower wasn't in my room. As much as that would have been really good, I didn't have a shower in my bedroom. I'd love to. Well, actually, I don't really know whether I would want to. But, no, I wouldn't want to live in the shower. But over the last 20 years, we've done a lot of work to try and make this house nice. To try and make this house 20 years. It's a long time. So, the point is that it took a long time. We spent a lot of time painting. We dug up some floors. We had to repaint a staircase. It was a bit nuts, really. Well, because it needed to be painted. It was a bit... Well, not on the walls you can't, or the ceilings. So, but my parents had a dream and a vision about what they wanted the house to look like. And so they made it into what they did over 20 years, and it's still not finished. There's still things that could be done. There's still bits of gutter that need to be sorted out, or there's this or that or the next thing. And there's always a job to do. But the point is that they had a vision. They had a dream. They wanted something to happen at the end. And they've worked really hard to get there. And they haven't given up. So things have happened along the way that have made it really difficult. Someone broke in, tried to steal all the roof, which was a bit nuts. We had lots of police cars outside, which was a bit scary. Yeah, and that was a bit mad. Because they wanted to. And so, basically, it was a bit mad, but lots of things happened along the way that meant that the vision, the dream, was kind of like questioned, or people came against it, or there were things that happened that meant that this dream might not have actually happened in the way that they wanted it to. But they kept on going. They didn't stop. And there's a guy in the Bible, you might have heard of him, called Paul. Anyone heard of Paul? Say to the person next to you, Paul. Shout to the person next to you, Paul. Okay, amazing. Paul. So this guy called Paul, and he was a guy who lived in a place near Jerusalem. So we talked about Jerusalem and Jericho last week. He lived near Jerusalem. And his dream, his vision, was to see the whole area know who Jesus was. And so he wasn't poor, no. His name was Paul, with an L on the end. And so, Paul in 2 Corinthians 11, verse 23 to 27, said this to a church in Corinth. It says, "Are they servants of Christ? I am out of my mind to talk like this. I am more. I have worked so much harder, been in prison more frequently, been flogged more severely, and been exposed to death again and again. 5 times I received from the Jews the 40 lashes minus 1. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was pelted with stones. 3 times I was shipwrecked. I spent a night and a day in an open sea. I've been constantly on the move. I have been in danger from rivers, in danger from bandits, in danger from my fellow Jews, in danger from Gentiles, in danger in the city, in danger in the country, in danger at sea, in danger from false believers. I have labored and toiled, and often gone without sleep. I have known hunger and thirst, and often gone without food. I have been cold and naked. This guy didn't have an easy ride, right? He didn't have a great time. His vision to see the world know Jesus wasn't going to plan. And there was a lot of things that happened. All that list were all the things that happened that basically were trying to stop him from doing exactly what God had asked him to do. That was Noah. Noah put all the animals on the boat. Paul had a hard time. It wasn't an easy job. There were lots of things that happened. Paul faced opposition throughout his ministry. And he writes to Corinth at this point and says, "Don't give up. Therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain." Do not give up. Paul writes to the church in this place called Corinth, don't give up. Keep on going. Keep on working. Keep on trying to see what you've planned or what you dream of come and happen. Paul writes to us as well. Keep on. Keep trying. Keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. But he also writes to those people who, about 200 years ago, were fighting for the abolition of something called the slave trade. Now, you might not have heard of the slave trade, or you might have heard of the slave trade. The slave trade was basically a period of time when people from Africa were kidnapped, put on boats, taken to America, where they were forced to work for different people, and they were slaves. No, they weren't refugees, they were slaves. So they were doing it without their wanting to do it. And they were there in that place, and they were beaten up, and they were treated really badly, and lots of people got lots of money as a result. But these people weren't there because they wanted to be there, they were there because they were kidnapped. And so William Wilberforce, which is the man that we're going to look at in a bit, but William Wilberforce was a guy who abolished the slave trade, which means he basically made it, or worked really hard to make sure that it wasn't happening anymore. So, Paul wrote to the church in Corinth and said, do not give up. He also spoke to men like a man called Equinio. Equinio was one of the most prominent black anti-slavery campaigners. He was once a slave who, by the 1780s, which is about 250 years ago, lived as a free man in London. He's mostly remembered for his autobiography. It tells of his kidnap in Nigeria, him being sold into slavery, his journey to the West Indies, his life as a slave, and his struggle to buy his freedom. It became one of the biggest, most famous books of that period. The sad thing about that is that that still happens today, even though the slave trade no longer happens legally. But slavery still exists. Also, Paul writes, do not give up, to people like John Newton. John Newton used to sell slaves, but he became a Christian. He later became a vicar, so someone who led a church, and then he chose to campaign against the slave trade. And he wrote the famous song, Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. John Newton recognized that the life that he had led wasn't great and chose to do something different. And then we come to our man called William Wilberforce. He was part of the movement from the beginning, although not formally. And he joined people in the Quaker movement, which is a different type of church. And they came together and they campaigned against the slave trade, as opposed to just slavery. So the important thing there was that they thought, or they believed, that if they abolished the slave trade, slavery would cease to exist in its current form. And they were right. They wanted to oppress and stop the big picture thing, not just deal with one of the small problems in it. Throughout the whole campaign, there were lots of things that distracted, disrupted, nearly derailed the campaign. At one point, they were about to get the law through Parliament. They were about to talk about it, vote on it, and make it into a law that meant that slave trade was no longer legal. And there was a war in France. So the government got distracted, decided that they didn't want to talk about it anymore, and did something different. During his time as an MP in Parliament, Wilberforce said, "Let us not despair. It is a blessed cause, and success are long. We'll crown our exertions. Already we have gained one victory. We have obtained, for these poor creatures, the recognition of their human nature, which for a while was most shamefully denied. This is the first fruits of our effort. Let us persevere, and our triumph will be complete." He said to the other MPs, let's remember, or let's look at the small victory that we've had, which will encourage us to see the bigger victory in the future. The most important thing, probably, about the abolition of the slave trade movement is that Wilberforce, Newton were massively important in Parliament and in high office to make sure that the slave trade no longer happened. But they were followed, or they were preceded actually, by lots of people who were slaves, lots of people who were black, who were fighting against it in their own communities. The other thing is that the campaign became the first grassroots movement where people on the ground, like me and you, were writing to the Prime Minister and saying, we don't want this to happen anymore. We don't want this to be a thing. And as a result of all the countless letters, it became the biggest movement on the ground ever seen before. Throughout this period, Wilberforce and his friends and his other campaigners never gave up. They didn't stop when it got difficult. They didn't stop when life became hard. They didn't decide that things were too difficult. They carried on. They kept fighting. They kept praying. Kept doing everything they could to make a difference. Sometimes when life is really hard, sometimes when life gets difficult, sometimes when things don't go to plan, we can give up. We can decide that it's not worth trying anymore, that we might as well just stop. But the most important thing to remember is that we need to keep on keeping on. We need to go back to where God said, this is what I want you to do. This is who I want you to speak to. These are the people who I love, I care about, and I want to see know me. And keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on praying. When it gets difficult, when life is hard, let's not give up. But let's choose to keep on keeping on. The last few months or the last few weeks of my life have been quite difficult for various different reasons. Lots of things have happened that have meant that the plan that I had is no longer the plan that is the same going forward. And that's been hard. It's been difficult. And it's easy to give up. It's easy just to go, I can't bother to do this anymore. I can't be bothered to do this. It's too difficult. But God calls us to stand and to trust him in those moments. To trust him when we have nowhere else to go. And so what we're going to do is we're going to stand up, if you can. And maybe if you're asking that question, how do we trust Jesus? Maybe just stand up. Just stand up. And maybe close your eyes and make sure that you're not being distracted by anyone else. So just stand up and try not to be distracted by anyone else. Just close your eyes. Stand in your own space. Well, because you just asked it, how can we trust Jesus? So I'm going to... So just and then put your hands on your heart. And what we're going to do is we're just going to say, God, show me what you want me to do with my life. So I'm going to say, God, show me what you want me to do with my life. And you're going to say the same thing back to me. So what I say, you're going to say, okay? Jesus, thank you that you love me. Thank you that you care about me. Thank you that you have a plan for my life. Thank you that we can trust you. Help us to keep on going. When life is difficult, when things don't go to plan, help us to trust you. In your name. Amen.
Jesus, Jesus, precious Lord, none on the earth, no heavens above. I have found more beautiful. You are my treasure, my great reward. And I just want to move your heart. It's all I want to do. I just want to stand in awe and pour my love on you, no matter how much the cost. I freely give it all to you. Jesus, Jesus, my offering, all my ambitions, my hopes, my dreams. Here's my life, Lord, a sacrifice, oh, just to bless you. I just want to move your heart. It's all I want to do. I just want to stand in awe and pour my love on you, no matter how much the cost. I freely give it all to you, all to you. And I just want to move your heart, get caught within your gaze, right in your presence, God, is where I want to stay, oh, just to dwell in your house, waste my hours and my days on you. just wanna move your heart. It's all I wanna do. I just wanna stand in awe and pour my love on you, no matter how much the cost. I freely give it all to you. And I just wanna move your heart, get caught within your gaze, right here in your presence, God, is where I wanna stay. Oh, just to dwell in your house, waste my hours and my days on you. And I just wanna move your heart. It's all I wanna do. I just wanna stand in awe and pour my love on you, no matter how much the cost. I freely give it all to you. And I just wanna move your heart, get caught within your gaze, right here in your presence, God, is where I wanna stay. Oh, just to dwell in your house, waste my hours and my days on you.
So God, we thank you that we can trust you. When life is hard, when things don't go to plan, when things are difficult, when life seems to throw curveballs left, right and centre, thank you that we can trust that your plan will prevail, that what you've said will happen. Help us to keep trusting you, to keep on keeping on, and to put our faith and trust in your plan over our own. Come, Lord Jesus, and speak to us. In your name. Amen. So it's the end of our service now, but we're going to sing one more song. So if you'd like to stick around, stand up. We're going to sing this final song together.
When I heard 1,000 stories of what they think you're like, but I heard a tender whisper of love in the dead of night, and you tell me that you're pleased and that I'm never alone. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. Oh, and I've seen many searching for answers far and wide, but I know we're all searching for answers. Only you provide, 'cause you know just what we need before we say a word. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. can hardly speak. Peace so unexplainable. I can hardly think as you call me. Deeper still as you call me. Deeper still as you call me. Deeper still into love. Love, love. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am.
God, we thank you so much that you're good. That we can rely on you, we can trust you, even when things get hard. We pray for a lot of that perseverance tonight. Would you help us to find the things that you're passionate about? To move us towards them, to make a difference in this world. And then to persevere. So send us out this week, God, to be and look more like you.